What's up? What's up? What's up? All you all out there with the podcast. This is Melon Minds
Yes.
Podcast. We're here to have a great time. I am Brandon, and my
Amen.
co-host,
Nina.
Lord Jesus.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nina, and as you can tell, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a kid.
Hey, awesome,
That's my favorite saying.
cool beans.
Oh, before we begin, we'd like to say that this podcast, the opinions expressed on this podcast are of our own and have no association whatsoever with the USPS or NRLCA.
Awesome.
So, I think what we have on the table today is, I know we said last podcast we were going to go over organization and everything, but we just got so in the moment. So we'll go over organization this time. We'll probably start with that, and then maybe like ways to get organized for box to box in apartments, like how they differ, how you would case it up differently or organize your truck differently, and then maybe talk about how you are your own business. I know you are just a person working for a business, but you yourself are your own business while still working at the post office, and how that's
Right.
important. So, to get it started, I would like to ask you, because you're the one who taught me, why is organization so important?
Well, I'm the type of guy. I hate to feel like I'm all over the place. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Just saying.
kind of are.
Ooh, ouch. I just I like to feel like I'm totally. It just helps, like it's helped you do the route at a nice pace, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know where everything is. So typically, it's like my household, right? I don't like to have a dirty house,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to have things where they belong. Like I don't have cups and dishes in the bedroom.
Right. You
Right?
like to keep them like in the kitchen.
It belongs in the kitchen, right? It belongs in the
Mm-hmm.
cabinets, right? I don't have ground meat sitting on the porch. No, it doesn't. It doesn't go there. Right?
Hey, if you're grilling, you might. You
If you're
grill?
not, what you doing there? If
Do
you're
you
not,
grill?
in the backyard, dude. Not on the front porch. The backyard, I do.
Okay, my bad. The back porch.
Yeah, I'm saying
Pause.
it just doesn't belong, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of treat my casing the same way.
Yeah. So how
Uh,
do you apply that into your job?
So how to apply that? So whenever I'm doing like let's first for example, let's start with apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Uh it's if it's an apartment that only has one centralized CBU,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to put everything that belongs to that one apartment in a tub. Right, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? All my DPS rubber banded, and then
Why is rubber banding it important for you?
because it what it does is the rubber band keeps that particular mail all together
Mm-hmm.
for that apartment complex. So you want to keep these things attached to each other. So whenever you're driving, if you're moving, if something falls, it still stay intact. I normally put two rubber bands on and make sure it's nice and tight. Pause. Uh,
I knew that. I knew there was some sentence coming on the way. I knew a sentence was on the way.
oh man, chill out.
Pause.
Pause.
Hey, you
Uh,
you said it.
then,
You said it.
then I did a hot tape. Yeah, rubber bands added as well. Put it in the
Mm-hmm.
tub, right?
Same tub.
And then, excuse me,
Same tub.
same tub. And then I will go through the parcel, whatever spares that I have for that apartment complex. I will literally put that also in that same tub as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I do each apartment like that, right? As you can
Right.
see,
Consistency.
uh, correct, correct. And so, like, and then once you get like you do all the apartments like that, take it to your truck. Like I said earlier in the other podcast, scan load truck feature, right? You want to scan all those spurs, all those parcels,
Mm-hmm.
load truck feature. And I was kind of break it down to the point where I put one apartment complex, maybe up front, close to me, with the
Wait. So
parcels.
when you're when you're using the load truck feature, are you still marking every package, or since you just know the route, you're just putting it where it belongs?
Well, if it's apartments, I put all the parcels with that that tub that I already separated, right?
Right.
So like that's what I was saying.
Are you writing on them?
I'm not writing on them. No, not apartments.
Okay.
Not apartments. I'm not writing on the apartment parcels. Like I said, if let's make up an address. If I have a tub for 5500 South Parkway, apartments, greenhouse, whatever, right? Everything is dealing with that apartments. I put it up close to me on the floor and on the floor up close to me. So all those parcels, because I know it's going to that one apartment complex. Then if I have a second apartment complex, I may put that to the back right-hand corner. All those parcels with the tub and spurs. So basically, I'm separating the apartments on the back of my truck so that way I don't get any packages like intertwined with each other, mixed up at all. So, and I do it by what apartments is first on my route.
Right.
That's how
you
I
just go by
separate
address.
Correct. So that's how I do it. If I have enough room to put the apartment and the tub and the parcels up front on the ledge with me, on the tray beside me, I'll do that as well. And from that point on, it's like it's easy money. Now, when I get to the apartment complex, I do take an extra tub with me, an empty tub.
Why is that?
Because there's a lot of times that you have forward mail that people's going to try to forward because they moved, maybe. Or there's other times outgoing mail, like raw mail. So I could have a tub for that as well. So I take a couple of tubs with me, just for that point. So when I get to the mailboxes, the CBUs, centralized CBUs, I can have something put them in and not have to worry about holding them in my hands the whole time. Because guess what? Remember, I still have the DPS that I'm putting inside each mail in my hand. And it's also, like I said, the same way you leave out organized, you want to come back organized.
Right. So a question, for new carriers who might not have been carrying mail long, when you're separating the packages and mail, or the packages in the truck, separating it by apartment, are you at all worried about them shifting while you're driving to and from each apartment and getting mixed up with one another?
Am I worried, or if I was
do you think
because I separate them to the point where they're so far from each other on the truck? Like if you have shelves, which is great. If you have shelves in the back of your truck, because you can put one apartment
each apartment,
shelf,
right?
Another apartment on the other top shelf, and then you have one maybe, like I said, up front with you. So everything is separated.
Just as a new sub, do you think it's a big concern? How often? I would say, let's say this.
Well, as a new sub,
how often do packages shift around as you're driving?
Very often. Very often.
Very often.
On a heavy day,
he's a bad driver. He's a bad driver.
On a heavy day, on a Monday. Oh my gosh. On a Monday,
they should be packed in there tight. Pause. So they should move.
Huh? No. On a Monday, they're gonna move.
On a light day, I can see it happening, but on a heavy day,
on a Monday, it's gonna move because a lot of times on a Monday, that's when you have your biggest packages.
True.
So you can't put them on top of the shelf if it's supposed to go this way, and you just can't do it. So it's gonna be kind of difficult depending on how.
It just depends on the shape of the package.
So.
Stanley, please sponsor us. We need some cups while we're delivering on the route, okay? Our water. We don't want our water. We don't want our water getting hot, okay? So sponsor us, Stanley.
Please sponsor us, Cowboys. Y'all not signing nobody else. Can y'all be signing us?
We need field side tickets. Season tickets.
Can we be the first signing this year, please?
Actually, no, not even field side. Can we get a suite so we're up so we can see the whole field?
Yes.
Either one is fine. Just not the nosebleeds.
We don't even want to be on the ground. Just put us up there somewhere, up top,
not
so
the
we see the
nosebleeds.
Yeah. You can love Mary with hair like that. I'll tell you.
Man, shut up. With your bald headed self. I'm bringing it back every time. Take it off.
Hey.
Rip that hat off.
You should never put that shirt on.
Why?
They look like Caitlin Clark holding basketball. Yeah, Caitlin Clark got me to realize.
Man. Hey, on the topic, Kayla Clark, UConn or Iowa tonight? This is off topic, but UConn or Iowa?
UConn. I like
Iowa.
UConn.
Go Hawkeyes.
It doesn't matter anyway. South Carolina's gonna win the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know what you got this thing with what.
It's my Hawkeyes. My family's from Iowa.
For real?
Go Hawkeyes. I'm big for real.
I'm for this.
Nah, don't say it on air.
What part of your family is nice?
Waterloo. Oh, my white side. The Caucasian persuasion side. For those for everybody unaware, I am only half white. Okay, the other half is I'm not full white.
Hey, so Iowa, your dad's from Iowa.
Yes,
Correct.
he's white.
Okay. We didn't know. We didn't need to know that, Nina. We were just making sure.
You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that brought it up. You are the one that brought it up, sir.
I just never heard you go to Iowa. That's all.
Because I've been working 24/7.
But you
Previously.
No, DC. No, Ohio. You was Ohio. For real.
Okay, you at least got it right. But that was a whole year ago.
It wasn't a year.
Basically.
It wasn't a year. You went to Ohio.
It was
right
September.
before I left to go to Virginia. So stop playing with me. Find somebody to play with.
How many months ago? I can't do quick math.
So
hold on. Let's go. September. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months.
That's not a year, man. I'm sorry.
I know it's not, but
all that head, no brain.
Golly, there's no comeback.
No.
Okay, but let's get back on topic. Back on the organization. So this is how a normal day goes for us. We'll be on a topic and then we'll just completely switch topics. So yeah, back to organization.
Well, real quick, for all of y'all that thinks that I don't like Nina, you're right. I'm just playing. She's really a cool person.
I'll fight you.
She's met my wife and everybody, so she's pretty cool. So I talk about her. It's all a funny game, nothing serious. And believe it or not, she talks about me a lot. So just most of us off air. Yeah, we cousins for sure. Mm-hmm. So back to organization. So an answer to your question, from my opinion, is for a sub. I would probably say that they should mark the parcels until they get used to the route. Like I said, me in particular, a regular that's been on a route, or maybe a sub that's been on the same route for maybe a week, I would probably lean more towards separating the parcel on the truck so far apart that they won't get mixed in with each other. So I will say that. So how do you separate from apartments? Because I know you're still in that realm of the sub, so you're still doing different apartments and all that type of stuff, different routes.
So I learned from Brandon, so he never knew about the load truck feature, or it must not have been around or whatnot. So I just learned you had to look at the case and figure out where it goes. So with apartments, he was like, just look at that. So most of the routes at our station are just all apartments. So the whole route has like 3 to 4 different apartments. So you just look at the address and separate it by that. So I would just separate them by each address. So I put like 650. So if it had a 650 and whatever street number, it would just be in this little section of the truck. So most of the trucks have shelves. So I'd put one apartment on the shelf, mail and packages all up there. What?
What type of truck are we talking about?
LLV.
Oh, okay.
I never get a Mercedes, unfortunately. Unfortunately. It is. Yeah. It be hot.
Right.
Yeah, like locking the keys in the back of the truck. That has happened, unfortunately. But yeah, I like to separate it by apartment. So
No.
the one route I have has 3 apartments and then a little bit of box to box and then a lot
Mhm.
of businesses. So I'll put
Yeah.
the biggest apartment just at the front of the truck, like where that little wall is that separates the seat and the back of the truck. I'll put
Mhm.
all the boxes up there. And then each other apartment, I just put them on the shelves.
So
Mm-hmm.
do they ever get
And
mixed
then
up?
the box to box. No, not really. I guess it all just depends on like how big a box is or how it's shaped or like the weight is dispersed in the box. Because if I to make a turn, every now and then a box has tipped over and
What
fell.
about
But
like
I typically hear it, so I know.
what about during peak season? Because you
I
was
can't
yeah,
really I can't really talk on peak season though
why
because it wasn't really there was nothing.
you didn't have anything on your route during peak season?
No,
In 20
everybody was saying how peak season was so light.
Oh yeah, it was like this year. You're right. It wasn't like
So I
yeah.
can't say I can't say I really experienced peak season.
No, your business was a lot. I think the immigration. I think they had a lot.
And not as much as they are right now, unfortunately. I
Okay.
don't know why, but
So what? So how do you organize when it comes to like box to box? Then
so again, I learned in a period where you just had to know where it was on the case. I guess I don't know. Some people use little plastic markers and put them in the case
yeah,
with the mail, so
right.
that way they know they have a package. But
Hmm.
I just stuck with the part where you just kind of YOLO it and have to remember where the packages are at. So I just look at the case. So there's 3 sides typically, and
Maybe
if it's A B C, so
mm-hmm.
and it goes by row, so it goes around. So if it's
carousel.
on the first row, 1A, I'll just put it at the front of my little gondola or cart, and then just work my way 1 through 6 of shelves in A B C. So
Right.
sometimes I get more specific because on the stickers it has like all the way through K or L. So based on which side, they each have like 4 different letters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just always set it on the tray,
Hmm.
but I always organize it before I hit the street. So that way, whenever I run out of packages on the tray, I can just move up more instead of like having to go through everything in the truck.
Yeah. I think
So,
you and I, when it comes to loading the truck, we load a little differently because
yeah.
you typically like to put the parcels up front, well, the first couple or whatever street or whatnot up front with you, uh, and then 2 trays or 1 tray DPS. How many DPS trays you have? I think me, I like to put them on my first row or two. I like to
Mm-hmm.
put on the floor by me or on the top shelf where I can reach. And I like to put 3 trays of DPS up front with me. But I think
Mm-hmm.
everything else is pretty much
It's
the same.
similar,
But I
but
do load my truck up in order, if that makes sense. I kind of put
mm-hmm.
everything that's come that first neighborhood, or
Right,
I load on the top shelf,
right. All the packages are in order by the time you
right? And I
leave
just
the station.
right, and I just get up whenever I go through the top row. I kind of get up, and then I kind of shuffle the next roll in.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think the way you do it for you, it works for you.
And I think that also goes into like how like different we are.
Yeah,
There's a height difference.
right. Oh
So
yeah.
I can't reach the back of the truck. Now I can get back to the back of the truck easier, but
Uh,
I ain't finna.
well, we have
That's too
another
much movement every time.
uh, he does it. How did he does his parcels?
Honestly, I have no idea.
He
I've never looked in his truck.
said you told me. I'm gonna try that one day.
Oh, okay, yeah. How he loads the back of the truck. Now, in the front of the truck, I do not know, but the back,
Parcels, yeah.
we usually do. What do we
He,
do?
well,
Oh,
he
we put
future.
yeah. He uses a load truck feature for spurs and everything. Um, what he does is, so we typically put like as the first sections on that back left, the tray that you can see when you look back.
Mm-hmm.
So we typically put like 2, 3 sections, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
We line them up all on the top shelf, and then the 5, 6 sections on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So, while you're driving, those packages on the shelf might fall over. And so what he does, the other guy, he puts the sections 5 and 6 up on the shelf, and then the lower, like the beginning,
Yeah.
on the floor. So that way, if he's driving and something falls over, it's nothing to worry about. He doesn't have to go back to it like we have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily. Only have to go back is because
I forget about it.
I forgot to deliver the package.
Right. I literally you're just driving, going, and you just forget about it. Man,
But
that happens too many.
the way I did it, I was on the routes for the first time. I did use the parcel markers, and I did case it up with my DPS until I learned the route. So you actually did a little bit better than I did because you kind of somewhat came in doing the way I was doing it for the most part. So,
right.
But it's I think the organization or the organizing of the packages is key, because one thing I do and he doesn't do is I make sure I have an aisle that I can walk in the back. And he puts his right across the floor. But I make sure I keep a clear aisle. That's why I stack things up. If I have a lot of packages, I stack things up, and I stack things up on the shelf. So that way, when it's time for me to get up and go to the back, I can walk back there, no problem.
Right.
So to each his own, however you want to do it, but I normally keep a aisle where I can walk and not have to step on packages.
Right. And then with Spurs, how do you do Spurs? I know how, but just explain to everybody.
Now Spurs, it's very easy. I don't do low tech feature like I said. A lot of people.
Well, now you just scan it.
Well, I gotta scan.
But we don't write the numbers.
Yeah, I don't write anything on there. I literally case up my Spurs into the case.
After you pull down mail?
Well, of course.
Hey, some people put. Well, I know city carriers, they put Spurs with mail. So.
Oh, bless their heart. But yeah, when the case is empty, I case my Spurs up. And then for the carrier start, I start on the 6th row of the C case, and I just work my way around. And when I pull them down, I lay them in the tub.
Right, from bottom to the top.
Bottom to top bottom. Work my way from the bottom all the way to the top, and I lay them flat. So when I lay them flat, I turn one this way, then I turn another one this way, and I just kind of work my way around so that way I can get more inside the tub. And so a lot of times I have at least like 3 tubs of Spurs where I put 2 of the tubs up under my tray in my truck, and I have 1 in front of me, right by my leg on the ground. So that's why I'm just grabbing, scanning, put it in the mailbox. Now my mail, my DPS, I typically taco all of my DPS. So thank God for coverages.
Man, but it's a pain. It is a pain to case up.
Well, it depends how big your hands is. Pause.
Pull down game is not strong.
Pull down game strong.
Man, mine is not, unfortunately.
But I will tell the listeners, especially if you're new as a sub, don't worry about being fast right away. Fast comes with being organized. So if you focus on like being organized, then when you get to the street, you're running faster. So
I think it's more important to deliver everything right the first time, and understanding where everything goes and learning the route is more important than speed in the beginning. Because I think that's what helped me, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you were helping me make sure I was organized and packages were in the right spot, and just learning first. Learning the route, more importantly.
I mean, to be honest with you, I helped you because somebody helped me. That's bottom line.
Right.
Like, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
everything, right? I didn't. I think I knew nothing. But
Right.
it was somebody that was there to know. I even had like other subs to give me advice
Right.
about, hey, try this out, or hey, try that out. And I tell everybody, hey, try everything out to see what like works best for you. Because the key thing about
Mm-hmm.
this is not telling you how, like, not telling you to do it the way we do it, but just kind of give
Right.
you an insight of how
Give you an
organized,
idea.
yeah, of
Right.
how organized we are when it comes
Right.
to running routes. And that's key. All subs is walking through the door. Remember, be
You
organized. Things.
right. Man, I was getting ready to ask one of our carriers the other day how she loads her truck, like how she organizes it all. Cause man, she's so fast. I left the station before her, and I was heading to my route when she stopped to get gas, and she still beat me back by like 20, 30 minutes,
Well, to be honest,
maybe
me,
15. I know. Listen,
I always
listen. I
be
know I'm
pleased.
slow. Listen.
Hey,
What year did you start here?
21.
Interesting.
Yeah, 21.
20.
Now, I will
Try to
say
check.
this to make work fun, I always try to race my friends, and sometimes they
Not
don't even
dangerously, but like,
like, they don't involve racing. To be honest with you, and until I
unfortunately, until
get back to
he's like, I'm done. I beat y'all. Man, it's so annoying.
it's so
Cause
fun. Because, like we have a
it
coworker
is.
that I used to get done on my route because his route was right next to mine, and I would literally go look for him. I would drive to where he is and
Right.
I would and all that kind of stuff. So,
And then you gotta point at him. You gotta point at him, and then you gotta laugh. Even at the
fact,
station,
fact,
even at
fact.
the station, you just gotta point at them and laugh.
Yeah, right.
Trust me, it
That's
works every time. They're not gonna know what to do. How do you respond to that?
at but now, but now,
But yeah, you just gotta have fun with your coworkers, most importantly, because it helps make the job easier and more fun.
hey,
Like that one time
you get frustrated,
we beat Mark. Remember,
oh,
right? You go hate your life if you don't have
right.
anybody to joke around with at work. It's just gonna be miserable. I feel like. But
Mm-hmm.
this one time, me and Brandon got done real early. It was not on a normal work day. It was Amazon, so
Mm-hmm.
we got done real early, and we're like, Mark, this was like his first week. We're like, Mark, where are you at? Where are you at? And he's like, oh, I'm on this street. And we're like, cool, cool, cool. Me and Brandon already know we're on the way. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, y'all aren't gonna come find me. Y'all aren't gonna find me. We said, pew pew pew. Hey, roll your
Right.
windows down, sir. You are under arrest. And he said, whoa. He did not expect us showing up on him.
Right.
He had a good laugh about that. He said, I went home and I told my wife, and I was still cracking up like that was the first time it happened.
Right. Right. He came from a totally different station when you
Right.
know they didn't have. I don't know if they had that type of fun, but like I said, we like to have fun, but we like to get our job done first. We like to get our
Yes.
job done first.
Most importantly, get done
So
with the work first.
get done with the work. Then, so I guess we got the organization part down. I think
Mm-hmm.
kind of down. I guess my question, but still kind of dealing with organization. Um, so what do you do, or what would you recommend a person to do on organizing? Like I talked about this earlier, organizing things coming back because for example, if I got pickups, how do I organize
Right.
my pickups coming back? Or do you organize your pickups coming back? Because some people are like, for example, which one of my old sub routes, they had a lot of pickups, and sometimes they had
Right.
pictures of priority and
Mm-hmm.
whatever other package they may have, letter M, V, and ground. They have all kind of different packages. So, do you organize it before you come back, or do you organize it once you get back to the station?
So since I've been on that route so much, dealing with the pickups, I've learned like what category each package goes with. And then, like you said, we have to scan them on. You said it on the last podcast that we have to, prepaid acceptance is important. So, depending on the business, some of them ask you to scan it like as they see you. So they want to see you scanning each package. In those cases, I just throw it all in the bag as I'm scanning it. And then once I get back to the truck, I have 2 Amazon bags and I have it set up with ground in one and then priority in another. So when I get back to the truck, I'm just sorting it really quick. And then so that way when I get back to the station, I can just dump it all. But the ones where they're not watching you scan, you just take the bag and go. As I'm scanning it at the truck, I just separate it. Because I always want to make sure I'm scanning every package. And I know if I get back to the station, I'm not going to do that. Hey, right. I'm ready to go home. So I just scan it while I'm at the truck, loading it into the trucks, because otherwise it's just not going to happen.
Right. Okay.
But on other routes, but because just that one gets so many packages, I just want to make sure I get it done before I get back. But on other routes, I'll just scan it and leave it all in the tub, like with the outgoing mail and everything.
Yeah. I know with the outgoing mails, you know how sometimes you receive like the big envelopes of the outgoing mail, and then you get the letters. I typically, if I get a lot of the big envelopes, I normally rubber band it. I normally rubber band those together, and then I'll rubber band like all the letters.
The letters.
The letter mails.
Yeah, it just depends on how much. Yeah, sometimes I'll put them into separate tubs just to make it easier, or like metered mail.
Yeah, like
compared to the stamps.
I put them in a different. Well, I don't put them in a different tub, but I make sure I rubber band it together. So when it's time to distribute the raw mail into the wire, I just know all these are stamped. Boom. Like I said, the meter mail. If it comes in trays, keep them in the trays. And when I get back, all I gotta do is put that on top of the whatever's on top, and then like this big envelopes, I put inside where the envelopes goes.
So sorting mail at the apartments, like the A and K, like stuff people don't want. Are you sorting? Are you just throwing it into a tub and saving it for when you get back to the station, or do you sort it at that apartment?
Okay, right now,
like what I do.
Right now, what I do, just save me a little time at the station. That's why I say I take me like a couple of tubs out there with me for that reason. So I already kind of label, hey, A&K, IA, Ford, and I just have them up there by me. And if I get something out of it that's not, that's A&K, I just throw it in an A&K bucket. When I get back, I know now, hey, all of these goes to A&K, and all of these stay IA. Because you also have some with the IA, because I have some like in your DPS that they don't bring it around, but it belongs to their station. It's another rep for another station. Now those I rubber band, if that makes sense, because I know that has to go to the hot case.
Right.
I don't know how you dealt with that. Stuff. Yeah, mid-source, yeah. So that's what I do now. Now, all the up, there's a different stuff.
They are.
Learn this.
So would you like to explain how different it was when you were sub?
Because I did it when I got back. I did it when I got back. Now I'm thinking so much organization, like to the point down to the T where because now I'm counting all of my IAs that came out my DPS, right? So I'm writing it down because I'm keeping track of all this for the whole year to make sure when count comes, it's pretty much accurate.
Yeah.
I know you're not doing it because you're not a regular yet.
Exactly. I'm a sub. Exactly.
But I will say this, though. I think you should start. That way you can kind of get yourself in the hand. Figure your sub out, yeah. Just write it down. See, I
guess.
Well, y'all not doing it at your station yet, but I talked to a regular at your station today, and that's what he's thinking about doing too. So I'm just saying, for your sub route, yeah. For your sub route, get with your regular. See if you want to start doing that. But I think it was a great idea because when I got to the new station that they was doing it, they can't at least they know what their number's supposed to look like instead of being like
has an idea.
Yeah. So that's why I
Yeah.
take those tubs out there with me now. Just long story short, I'm sorry, I went around all the way in the bush, but that's why I
Right.
do.
Long story short.
Yikes! But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't do all that. I don't do all that.
I know
I just do
you.
it at the station.
You stuck in your ways. You'll say it.
Again, these are the ways I was taught. By you, sir. By,
Ma'am, you supposed to
by you.
evolve the time.
Look, see now you're learning. So this is how it works. You're learning, and now I'm learning because you're learning.
Oh, you're right. Just pass it down knowledge. You're right.
Literally.
Right. Yeah.
Through the grapevine. Yeah. That's literally how it works. So yeah, I just throw it all into a tub and I just deal with it when I get back to the station, honestly. But I deal with like all the IAs that are in front of the apartments. I do that at the station in the morning before I even leave.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the reason why we do it, the reason why I do it when I get back, because it can be written down as more office time. So when we're still talking about like we talked about in the last podcast, the evaluation pay, all this is included in your office time. So, you want to extend that evaluation so you can build that route, continue to build that route. When you do it early in the morning before you leave, it's not really calculated because like you're doing it as you're leaving. But when I come back, if I take 30 minutes after I return back to DU and I take another 30 minutes, guess what? They're going to add that to my route. So that's why I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Sounds good.
It is good.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Man, child, please. So, I do have a question as we move forward.
We forgot to go over this in our box to box versus apartments.
What's up?
So you know how you scan every package at either the mailbox or front door when you're at box to box. At apartments, should you scan them all at one time or individually?
Individually. Please do it individually because if you do it all at one time, it's going to show only one address getting all these packages. All right?
Right.
But if you scan it, clear it out, next package, scan it, clear it out, it's showing that each of those addresses is receiving a spur or a package. So that way you can get credit for delivering each package.
So many packages. Right.
I think one of the regulars learned the hard way at one of the stations.
Yeah, I think a lot of them were doing that just to save time.
Right.
They didn't know, but now we're learning.
Yeah, it's crazy because I just talked to a person who has CBUs, and this person literally scans all his packages at once and then deliver. And he's like, "Man, I didn't know that." I'm like, "Well, you might want to start scanning visually, right?" And like you said, no one really truly knew that this was the case that we should do.
Unfortunately, with this person in their route, this new system doesn't count because she doesn't have any parcel lockers, so she's having to take every package to the door that doesn't fit in the mailbox. And so because she's not driving through this complex every single day, like to the same houses, like she doesn't have a path like box to box does.
Yeah,
it's not counting however many trailers she has in her little complex.
But is she scanning authorized dismounts?
I think so now, but before, so since she wasn't driving to each, like driving by each one, I believe is what it was. Since she wasn't driving through it would delete them after a certain amount of days.
Oh.
Even if they had a package or something, it wasn't counting for some reason. So I think she has like 600 trailers in this little complex, and they're so spread out, and the mailbox is in one spot. So there's like a huge area you have to drive through, but it's not counting every single house she has.
I don't know.
The way it is, she's not getting credit for having to drive through there every day.
Right. That's how. So I want to know if you was to put authorized dismount, would it show that you're delivering each package to the front door versus me just scanning front door because she's not getting credit for it? That's why. I don't know. I think I heard her talking about that with another carrier.
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to figure out ways for her to get credit for it because, right, her should be way higher than what it is.
Correct. And this is what it's all about, right? Like we're we're a family,
Mm-hmm.
RCAs or subs or regulars to try to help each other build, the routes up.
Right, you
Because
can't look out for yourself.
yeah, exactly. But that's kind of crazy because, and my prayer is they can find a solution on
Right.
how she can get credit. That is a big area for her to go to
Mm-hmm.
every
And,
door and scan a front door delivery for a package and but not get credit for it. I think that's crazy.
right.
That's ludicrous.
All because of this new system.
Yeah, new system is crazy. So with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about
I was
scanning
dry.
scanning parcels at the door or scanning parcels at apartments. I'm sorry, uh, individually. My next question, or
Mm-hmm.
your next question we have is what you said something earlier. Um,
Right.
you are your own business. So, like,
Yes.
what do you mean by you are your own business?
At the end of the day, you are the one making money. So you really just have to. I know we literally just said to not look out for yourself, but in the aspect of your life and your health, you have to look out for yourself because the post office doesn't care. It's not your coworkers; it's the post office. At the
Mhm.
end of the day, or your supervisors, they could care less what you're going through, and so you really just have to kind of put yourself first before this job, because no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So we've had people who have, most recently, people who have lost someone they loved very
Mhm.
near and dear to their heart. They have lost, and one person, they didn't get anything from the post office. It took one of us going out and buying them a card
Yeah.
for people to say, sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Whereas, another person, a city carrier, they got, the whole post office involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess it also just depends on the craft, but
Yeah.
it also just depends on who you really care about at the post office, who you interact with every day,
Mhm.
who is gonna know what's going on in your life, and who really cares.
Right.
Sometimes it's nobody. So you just have to put yourself first. If you're not feeling well, you're not good enough to go to work, call off.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the. It's not gonna. You're not gonna lose your job at the end of the
Right.
day.
Right. Well, I will say this, and to kind of piggyback on what you're saying, uh, the post office don't care
Mm-hmm.
about what you have going on outside of work. Uh, it doesn't matter if you lost a son, a mother, a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
We're only talking based upon experience as a rural carrier and what has happened on the rural side in our station. So every station may not be the case. This may not be the case, but what we have actually went through and seen with our own two eyes at the station that we're working at, under the branch that we're working at. Uh, and I can tell you about my own testimony. Like,
Literally.
I called to the postmaster's office for attendance review and got written up because I attended a funeral and management knew about it. And this postmaster wasn't even at the station during this time. And I explained it to
Mm-hmm.
the postmaster. I literally was sick, brought a doctor's note and everything, went to
Right.
the hospital, and they called me to the office to write me up again. Not caring. And now one time they said, "Hey, well, are you all right?"
Right. They never asked.
Never asked, right? Uh,
Everyone else was getting called into his office.
you saw her?
Say hello. Yeah, I
Say
did.
hello.
She tried to duck.
Say hello. Come on over here. That's my wife, y'all. She ducking. I don't know why she ducking.
She trying to hide.
Right. Everybody know you live here. Like, like
Like it's not your house too.
welcome to my home. All right. But
yeah,
so,
everyone else was getting called back into the office asking why this happened. But he just
right,
handed it off to somebody else
yeah,
and
never he
said,
never
write them up.
he never called me to ask me why was I out these 3 days, and
Right,
because they don't care. At least not, at
right.
least not to like not at our station. They don't. Maybe another
But like,
station.
would you? I'm trying. Like, the question is, would you say it's because you're a rural carrier?
Man, it's either that or I'm black. Uh,
Would you
it's
like
either
to
that
say
or that.
what color? Or hold on. Would you like to say what he looks like? The postmaster, the one
Man,
that called you, the one that called you in his office or his
he's
temporary office.
he's black, but he remind me of my uncle. His name was
What's
Tom.
his name?
I think I just played like that.
Golly, that's his favorite saying, guys. That is his favorite saying.
I'm just saying though, like you're so into your job that you can't.
You're bringing up past stuff,
Yeah, like these days was like a year ago almost,
right?
and this
Literally,
happened recently. Like, are you serious? Not something that happened last week or 3 weeks ago
right?
or
Months
It's
ago,
golly, come on, like seriously, find somebody to play with. That was just the point. It was just the point that you didn't you didn't even like check to see. Hey, well, oh, I'm
why?
sorry that you went through a difficult time, man. I apologize, man. I'm just trying to do my job because I'm asked to do this, to go back and review attendance. You did none of that.
Right?
You just said, hey, well,
Just handed you a slap on the
yeah,
wrist.
yeah.
Didn't
You
ask
said,
why.
I slept the union there. The union still there. I've been trying to get a hold of the union still. I don't know how long. I don't know how
But
you
hey,
do it.
he made a way. I don't care.
But he came
He
through for
fought
us.
for us.
He
He
came through
really
for us.
did. You know,
Yeah,
before this, we were talking trash on him. I'm not gonna lie.
right. Right. He came through
We
for
were
us.
big trash, but he he
He's a
he
good
made a
guy.
way.
Good guy. He's a good guy. But
After
it
this
was true.
experience,
You are your own business, so make business decisions, right? I think I've told Nina this before, and I
mm-hmm,
told other subs that okay, when you call off, make sure you're able to deal with the consequences, right? And what
right,
I mean by that is because everything you do is a business decision. If you die today, they're going to have an RCA position open next week to take your spot,
right.
right?
Somebody's go. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Somebody's coming to run the route that you're supposed to run. All right. So they are thinking business. Well, we lost one body, but we should have put another body in the spot. They're thinking business. Why don't you think of business? All right.
Right.
This is common sense. If it's ice on the ground, right? Why put your life at risk to get there? Right? You got to make a business
Knowing you
decision.
ain't gonna deliver mail.
You got to make a business decision, right? Because at the end
Right.
of the
Stay at home.
day, if you know you can't make it,
Don't
stay at
risk
home.
it.
Don't risk it. Don't risk it. You are your
And
business.
then
Don't treat you
exactly.
like you some piece of crap. All right. You let them
Right.
know, hey, you can't talk to me that way.
Right.
I'm a business too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I found this job,
I can
if
find
I need
another.
I can go find
Hey,
another. But
Indeed.com.
hello. But what you're not gonna
That's
do,
how I found this job.
you're not gonna talk to me crazy. You're not gonna talk to me like I'm a little child.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna talk to me with some respect. That's what you're gonna do. And I stand on that. You gonna ask any supervisor, states I work at, if they talk to me crazy,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them no. No. I do what you ask me to do if it's within the contract. But what you're not
Right.
gonna do is you're not gonna raise your voice at me. You're not gonna talk to me crazy. Because I am my own business. So
Thanks.
I don't know. I don't know your take on that, Nina. But that's just my take on being my own business, protecting me, protecting my own
Mm-hmm.
investment, my health and strength. Right. But it's a great job. I don't want people to think that it's not a great job to have.
Right.
This
It all just depends on where you're at and your managers and everything, supervisors. That can make or break it, make or break you, I should say. Golly.
Oh my goodness!
Here
Yeah,
we
dude.
go.
Does it break it? Bro, we can have a good time on the phone tomorrow.
Oh, you. Right. Oh, wait till he tells Mark about this.
Man, for real. Hey, so
Nah.
real quick, I know we got about 10 minutes, but real quick, why should people be excited about this podcast?
Oh, because we are trying to get people interested in the rural craft and also give back to the community. We're trying to be more than just talk about mail and everything. We're trying to, we want to talk about everything. We don't want to be this boring. We're trying to also give back to the community. People who need stuff and they're like I don't want to say it, but like we're just trying to give back. We want to give back in the future.
Yeah, the less fortunate, the youth.
Yes.
Yeah, the youth.
Make an impact.
Yep. I just want people to know also that like what you see, what you get, right? One thing I didn't want to do is when we started the podcast, Nina, is be something that I'm not.
Right, fake.
Fake. We're letting you all that are God fearing people. Period. Now we like to have fun, we like to joke around, but you better believe
faith
that
is
God,
first.
Yeah, faith is first. God is always first, right? One thing I like what you said that the people should get excited about is that, and people will get a chance to see as well as we kind of continue with the podcast, that the fact of giving back. The fact of giving back.
Right, because not too many people do that nowadays.
Yeah.
I think people, like, they see a homeless person on the side of the road. They don't want to give them whatever change they have because, they're just gonna go buy some more drugs. Yeah, but you never know. That could really change who they are, and you might make a change in their life. They might change it. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do by, we always want everybody to know that we put faith first, because in this world today, people aren't doing that. So I think if everybody does that, we might, the world is going to change for sure.
And the most point of it all is like God sees no color. Like we joke around. Same. We're all the same. We all bleed the same, right? So it doesn't matter if you're white, black, green, purple. We want to be impactful.
Yellow. Sorry, that's just our jokes. Yes. I'm Asian.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, just half.
Yeah. But we want to be
black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Yeah. Swin, where have you been? She's in the not Calandra in the background, ducking again. She was on the other side.
Lord Jesus.
She just ran through there. Oh my goodness! But yeah, we just want to be authentic.
Yeah.
We go da. No, but we're just trying to be authentic to who we are and our beliefs, and we put faith first.
Faith first.
Most importantly.
Amen. And that's the greatest thing I think that we're doing. Most definitely the greatest thing that a young person like you, Nina, that you literally love God and you're willing to exemplify that with whatever you do. There's been times, and I'm gonna tell a little story and I'll let you close it out, but there's been times that Nina, and it may seem small to other people, but it could be big to a lot of people. But Nina has came into the station with breakfast, right? And whether it was a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken biscuit sandwich or whatever it may be.
Sunjoy.
Right. Yeah, Sunjoy like rice. I think one time she had even brought some type of nut to butt cake thingy, whatever. Did you bring that?
After that got done with the route, I went and bought some nothing but cakes. They're really mini ones, just like for everybody.
Right. And pizza, we actually even went half on pizza. Yeah. And some people may think it's small as nothing, but someone else ate other than us, right? And they might have been hungry. We don't know their situation at home. Only thing we know is them as coworkers. But it was the fact that no one had to pull teeth for Nina to do something like that nature. So I would applaud you that
Right.
your walk match up with your talk for the most part. So just saying.
Thank you.
For the
Thank you.
and this is what it's all about. Like we have fun doing the podcast, and information or something, and tell what we experienced so far as in the postal
Hmm.
service. But the main thing is, I believe, is for us to be impactful in another person's life, whether it's by
Right.
information or by us giving back to a family that's in need, or some child, some youth. Remember, the youth is our future. So I just think that's very
Hmm.
important that for this podcast, and for you all that are listening, if you want to give to help us give back, please, by all means, get in contact with us. Send us an email or something of that nature, because we don't want to be impactful here in DFW. We want to be impactful
Right.
all the
All
way
across
around.
the country. You know,
But,
soon we're gonna start a vlog. We're gonna start a
yeah,
vlog. We're gonna go around tour. Hopefully,
yes,
tour other
yes,
post office,
yes,
and then maybe we'll buy everybody at the station breakfast
yes,
if y'all
maybe,
donate to us.
yes, please.
You do know we work at the post office. We don't make that much money.
Hello.
But yeah, we're just give back because I think we've been blessed in
Amen.
everything we have. So
Wow.
it's always important to give back, and
Amen.
you never know what that might do for another person. Like if you know nobody's ever bought them breakfast and you bought them breakfast, so they're like, oh my goodness.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. So yeah, always
All
in the
right.
background. But yeah, we trying to start a vlog. Follow our Instagram eventually.
Amen.
We'll
And
have
so,
it linked in the description. Please follow, like, and subscribe. It is free to do so. But also, if you want to donate to us, uh,
amen.
okay. But no, to our scripture of the podcast. It is me today. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, and that's always important because if you put God first, He'll take care of you. He will take care of you, and everything will fall into place.
Amen.
So, amen.
Amen.
On
I
that
like
note,
that.
you live and you learn. Thank you. And I do a lot of learning. Please do.
Yes, we are.
Deuces. Golly.
Oh,